So, welcome to all the students present over in the session. Today, we are going to start with the lecture number 7. The topic in the lecture number 7, it is tools and techniques of inventory control. Okay? Tools and techniques of inventory control. So, we would understand about the inventory management system first. The inventory management, why we are supposed to understand inventory management is because in a manufacturing unit or in a manufacturing company, inventory will be held at each and every stage. Now, the holding of inventory at each and every stage will make a cost involved. For example, if you take the plant, Visakhapatnam steel plant, the total stock available over a given period will be in crores of rupees. Now, this so much value of crores of rupees made available in the form of a stock will be incurring a cost. Instead of having such inventory level, if we have that particular minimized level of inventory, then definitely that can provide more generation of the revenue or reduce the cost, overall cost of the production. So, that is why inventory management is one of the important tool, and it depends upon different types of tools which they apply, or different types of tools what they are supposed to apply based upon the different factors which are given to be understood before they implement one certain type of a tool as such. Okay? Now, if you see the objective of inventory control are to establish level of inventories which will serve to minimize the company's cost and maximize its revenue. So, the purpose of inventory management system is to reduce the inventory level, and it will increase, by the way, it will increase the overall revenue in the form of maximum level as such. So, as said, the inventory getting increased or inventory getting held at each and every individual stage will be adding a cost to the manufacturer. How to reduce that cost? By applying the best tools and techniques, by studying what level of inventories to be maintained is all been understood in the inventory management system to effectively implement the system which we call as inventory management system. Now, in this inventory management system, we have the 5 basic variables which are supposed to be understood before we go for application of any kind of methodology of inventory techniques. Okay? Now, the 5 basic variables are minimum inventory, reorder point, reorder quantity, procurement lead time, and maximum inventory. Under the minimum inventory, what is that? It is the understanding that to what extent you need to maintain the minimum possible inventory so that the operation does not affect. So that the operations does not affect means, while we are doing the production management, in the process of doing the production management, we are supposed to have the minimum level of inventory, so it doesn't affect the running of the manufacturing process or running of the production process. That level of the stock is what is called as minimum inventory. One point. And second level of minimum inventory is what? Instead of having unwanted inventory, if we would be able to reduce that inventory level, then it will ultimately reduce the cost and increase the revenue as such. It will reduce the cost and increase the revenue as such. Okay? So, that is why we need to have minimum inventory as such. Now, the second one, reorder point. Reorder point, the purchasing of a raw material is not a one time, it is an regular interval time duration. It is on a regular interval time duration. Now, while having a regular interval time duration, at what time are we supposed to reorder again, so that the stock does not get exhausted, and exhausting of the stock will lead to stoppage of the production unit. That level is what is called as reorder point. Okay? This, at the point of the reorder point, the quantity which we are going to reorder is what is called as reorder quantity. Okay? At the point of the reorder, whatever the quantity we are going to order it, that quantity is what is called as reorder quantity. Now, reorder quantity can have a change from one particular order to the other orders based upon the reorder point. Normally, the reorder point will be the same, but sometimes suppose the reorder has been gone at a lower level, or if it has been done at a higher level, we would normally do the reorder quantity at the same level, but if it has gone to the lesser level, we do the quantity at a higher levels of quantity. But in a general process of production, the reordering point is been kept constant and the reorder quantity is also kept at a constant level. But to identify that reorder or reorder point is a very kind of an good calculations which we need to do and find out the reorder point and reorder quantity. Now, the reorder quantity, when it is been understood, then we need to understand the exact procurement lead time. The lead time is a time duration taken from the time of the order placed till the order has come to the destination. That time is what is called as procurement lead time. So, the lead time is equivalent to what we call as the time taken to place an order, and from that time the order has come to the production unit or the purchasing unit. That time is what is called as a lead time. The lead time varies because of the transportation difficulties, because the transportation may not be a same transportation kind of a progress, which may have some hurdles, which may have a climatical disturbances. Because of all this, the time can have a changeover, but even the lead time has to be calculated to have a correct or constant level of the lead cycle as such. So, after the lead time has been identified, we have a minimum inventory, right. So, minimum inventory and the maximum level of the inventory has to be understood. That is, what level of the inventory has come, that means the lead time comes. Once the lead time has come, to what extent we can store or what extent we need to have a stock, that level is what is called as a maximum inventory, right. Now, whenever the reorder point, right, whenever the reorder point, actually defined reorder point, if it crosses, the quantity stocked will be always less than the maximum inventory, right. The quantity stocked will be always less than the maximum inventory, but if the reorder is done before the reordering point, right, it may cross the maximum inventory. So, by which the maintenance methodology or maintenance process has to change over. So, that is why it is okay with at the time of reorder point or even okay with when they order after the reorder point. But if they do the reorder before they reach the point, there is a chances that it may cross the maximum inventory, and because of that crossing of maximum inventory, they need to handle or make more number of employees to be equipped to have the maintenance of that particular process. Okay. Now, here we can see about the economic order quantity. So, as we have understood all those 5 parameters, it is connected to the economic order quantity at what place or what area we are supposed to do the order at what level of quantity as such. That will make us understand about the economic order quantity. As said, the economic order quantity, the first point, it is defined as the quantity of material, can be ordered at one time, right, at one time to minimize the cost of ordering and carrying. So, what does that understand? Please understand, in every order there are 2 costs which are involved, that is, one is ordering cost and second one is carrying cost. These 2 costs are the one which we need to understand before we have a calculation of the economic order quantity. So, in understanding the economic order quantity, an individual of the organization, whoever is ordering the quantity, has to have a better understanding upon the ordering cost and the carrying cost. So, once we have understood it, it will give us a better insight to do the calculation on economic order quantity. Next point, it refers to size of each order that keeps the total cost low. That means, the economic order, right, economic order quantity is one such level of quantity which will keep us the lowest level of cost, total cost, right. So, EOQ whichever we have identified, that EOQ will give us, right, the total cost which is very, very low. The order exceeding it, that means the order what we have decided in the economic order quantity, less than that or more than that, will be a non-profitable in terms of the low cost, That is why economic order quantity identification will provide us the most best total cost which is at the lowest level. Coming to the next point, the framework used to determine the order quantity is also known as Wilson EOQ model or Wilson formula. So, the formula which is been derived, which is been given to be derived for the economic order quantity is been given by Wilson. He is the person who has been identified or derived the formula which is called as EOQ formula, which has been done by Wilson. It is also called as Wilson EOQ model or Wilson formula. Okay. Now, next to this, it is also known as a quantitative technique. Why? Because we are dealing with the direct quantity analysis, which is that quantity which is the most best efficient quantity, and it depends on two types of cost. Now, the two types of cost are nothing but carrying cost and ordering cost. One is carrying cost and the other one is ordering cost. Ordering cost. These two costs are the one which we, and these are referred as CC, carrying cost, and OC, which is referred as ordering cost. In this carrying cost and ordering cost, it gives the calculation based upon at what quantity are we going to have, at what quantity are we going to have the best combination of carrying cost and the ordering cost. Now, that is what we call as the most best efficient order, where the economic order quantity is comparatively and the carrying cost and the ordering cost are the best at that particular point. That is what is called as economic order quantity, and economic order is referred to here as a quantity. That is why it is called as a quantity technique as such, because it derives about at what quantity of product we are supposed to buy, or at what range of products or what demand are we supposed to make the order regularly. That is why it is said to be as a quantity as such. Okay. Now, coming to the next slide. Now, we can see here the economic order quantity or economic order cost involves with two costs, which is the ordering cost, right, ordering cost and the carrying cost. These two costs are the important, right, which you are supposed to have an idea upon calculating the economic order quantity. Now, we will get into this inventory ordering cost. What is that? The cost referred to the cost incurred to procure the materials, particularly in large organization. This costs are significant. This is also called as procurement cost. That means ordering cost, cost referred to the cost incurred to procure the materials, particularly in large organization. It can be whatever the applications it may be, receiving quotations, processing purchase requisition, receiving raw materials, and then inspecting it. For all this cost will be incurred in the ordering cost. All this cost will be incurred in the ordering cost. Right? Now, if we look into the carrying cost, what all are involved in the carrying cost? Carrying cost, which are also known as holding cost. It means once the cost has come, that means once the raw material has come, maintaining that raw material or having some machineries or men to have look out of that particular raw material, all that comes under the holding cost. Now, are the cost incurred in maintaining, the stores in the firm, they are based on average inventory. They are based on average inventory. Now, what all comes under it? Storage cost, rent for storage, facilities, salary incurred for the person who is looking out that particular process, and all other expenses which are required to hold that particular raw material in an given space or given location. Now, that is what is called as inventory carrying cost. Okay. As said, for economic order quantity, both the economic order quantity in both the ordering cost and carrying costs are equally important, and please understand both are inversely proportional. Suppose if if the ordering cost is going like this, right, if the ordering cost is going in this direction, then the carrying cost will be in the other direction. So, what can we say? the ordering cost and the carrying cost are inversely proportional. The ordering cost and carrying cost are inversely proportional. Higher the ordering cost, lower the carrying cost. Higher the carrying cost, lower the ordering cost. Both the costs are inversely proportional. If the ordering cost is increasing, then the carrying cost will be decreasing. That is the relationship between the ordering cost and the carrying cost. We can understand it better when it is shown in the diagrammatic representation, right. So, as per our knowledge, it is here understood that the economic order quantity consists of two costs. One is the ordering cost and the second one is carrying cost, right. So, we need to understand, we should have an understanding that both the costs are equally important, right, while calculating the economic order quantity, and also understand this type of technique is called as a quantitative technique because we are trying to find out the best quantity of order based upon having a best ordering cost and best carrying cost as such. Okay. Now, this is the diagrammatic representation. This is the diagrammatic representation. Now, right, as represented, this particular diagram, this is the cost and this is the cost, cost factor, and the bottom level, that is y axis is cost and x axis is quantity. X axis is quantity, right. So, x axis is quantity. Now, as seen, holding cost is what? It is also called as carrying cost. Carrying cost is also called as holding cost. Okay. Ordering cost is what? In this direction. Okay. And why do we start with carrying cost? Right. Generally, as a business grows, we would try to start the order initially, right, because quantity increases from the 0 level. So, right. So, what does that mean? This carrying cost, initially carrying cost is what? The purpose of the carrying cost is for maintaining the inventory or to look out for the inventory what we have been stocked. So, to look out for the material, raw material what we have stocked, we actually start with the 0 because there only we start with the inventory. As we go on the time duration, we go on increasing the quantity, we go on increasing the quantity levels, right. So, under this level, what does this happen is, this carrying cost, that is the carrying cost and the ordering cost, right, ordering cost put together is what is called as total cost. So, the cost, see, carrying cost plus ordering cost is equal to total cost. This is the total cost. Okay. Now, the curve of this is what? This is the curve of the total cost. So, this cost is included with both. What is that both? Carrying cost and the ordering cost. The carrying cost and the ordering cost. Both put together is what is called as total cost. So, while we draw the diagram, we have an intersection of this particular point. This is what is the intersection with which one? Where the carrying cost and the ordering cost have an intersection. That particular point is what is the quantity, right. So, when we draw the diagram, that is this carrying cost, ordering cost and carrying cost, when we have a diagram, it will have an intersection. In this intersection, from that point we draw the diagram towards the x axis. Now, this is what is the quantity which we need to order regularly, that is what is called as economic order quantity, right. So, economic order quantity is what? The point at where the carrying cost and the ordering cost have an intersection. At that particular point, we draw the axis parallel to y, right. Y axis parallel line we draw from that point, and that point wherever it touches the x axis, that particular point in the quantity is what is said to be as an economic order quantity. That is the way of finding the economic order quantity. Have you understood this? Right. Now, so from this cost, right, as said, this is the intersection between which on? This is the intersection between carrying cost and the ordering cost, right. Now, the point extended upward will give us the total cost. The point extended towards the upper direction will give the total cost. So, this cost is what? This cost is the inclusion of the carrying cost and ordering cost. So, at the this is the minimum cost, right, minimum cost, and at that minimum cost, right. So, the curve when you see, that is the lowest point in the curve which you can have. So, the total cost curve once which is been drawn, you can see that the curve, that curve's bottom is the least bottom below which there is no low point in that particular curve. So, you can identify that. So, from there whatever the minimum cost is there at that particular point, the quantity is what is the quantity which we call as an economic order quantity as such. Okay. So, economic order quantity is being identified based upon the point of intersection of carrying cost and ordering cost, and the point of that particular line is been parallelly drawn to y axis, and from that y axis it is been drawn to the upper total cost also, and that cost is what is called as a minimum cost, and that line where it intersects to the total quantity is what is called as the EOQSS, that is economic order quantity, right. So, this diagram shows a better understanding of the calculation of economic order quantity, right. So, going to the next slide, it gives us the understanding of the first parameter. What is that? Minimum inventory, safety stock, maximum inventory, reorder level, reorder quantity, all that are being supposed to be understood before we arrive to that particular level, which is called as inventory management tools, right, and techniques as such. So, here you have an here it is one cycle, right, the complete cycle. This is complete one cycle, and this cycle is represented in the form of 4 cycles here. You can see here it is represented in the form of 4 cycles. So, for your better understanding, that means it is a continuous one which goes on. It is a continuous one which goes on. So, here you can see that, right, here you can see that the point which is there, it is a constant one, it is a constant one, right. So, if we understand with one particular level and that is been applied in the next level, it is been made understood for continuously. Very rarely there will be a change in the order, that is reorder, and there may be a change in the reorder lead time also, but majority of the time the order which is been decided will be an constant order, will be an constantly followed as in the form of economic the order as such. Okay. right? That how do we have an, right? So, how do we understand the one calculation as such? For example, as said, this is number of units. Now, what is this number of units? Till here, right? Till here, it is the number of units. Okay. Now, this, right? Now, at this particular point, it is called as the reorder. Right? It is called as the reorder. Now, once you have ordered, right? Once you have ordered, the stock should come, right? This is safety stock, right? This is safety stock. Safety stock is what? The time taken, see here, the time taken here, the stock gets till this particular safety stock. From here, the stock has to be arrived as such. So, again it will go to the higher levels, right? It will go to the higher levels. So, that means this time is the calculated time. This time is actually the calculated time from the time taken to reorder and the quantity to be arrived to the location as such, from the time this location as such. So, here this point, the time taken to reorder from here till the quantity gets into the destination or the order which has come to the destination. And this safety stock is what? Sometimes the order may not come at this point. Sometimes the order may not come at this point. So, in spite of that, if the order does not come at that time, if you are not having this safety stock, what will happen? This actually, right, this actually will lead to what? Stoppage of the production, right? Stoppage of the production. When? If the safety stock is not there. If the safety stock is not there, then there will be a stoppage of the production. So, what we do? We will have a safety stock in such a level that if the order does not come here and suddenly there is a usage of the raw material to a high level, now then it will come to the particular levels in this particular, at least by this, if the order has come again, then the quantity would have been gone to the higher levels, then the purchased order will go again back to the higher levels as such. Now, in the process of understanding, in spite of the safety stock, right, they have some extent of the stock, and lastly they go to the next level which is called as stock out, right? They go to the last stage which is called as a stock out. Now, no company will try to have such kind of a scenario where it comes to, right, where it comes to this particular destination. No company will try to come to this particular destination. So, they will try to manage it that the stock comes either in this level or maximum at this level, because if it goes beyond that in this direction, the operations, right, operations has to stop. Operations has to stop. Now, in the process of this such a difficulty level, when we are trying to have a maintenance of a crores of rupees of a production unit, if because of the non-existence of a stock, if a particular operation comes to standstill, there is a huge loss of revenue to the organization. That is why we will always have a reorder level, and that point whatever the quantity we are ordering, that is called as a reorder quantity. Right? Now, this overall it makes understand about the process of the reorder level and reorder quantity. Now, for example, what is the, we have seen those 5 parameters. Under that, minimum inventory. What is the minimum inventory? Minimum inventory is this, okay, minimum inventory, and including the safety inventory is also been kept in the minimum inventory. So, this becomes a minimum inventory, that is this level, minimum inventory, right, and maximum inventory is what? This level is what is the maximum inventory, right. But if you see, this is minimum and this is maximum, still we are ordering at this point. Why? Because this, once you order, this time taken to the order to come will be this much. So, by that, once order has come, again the quantity touches the maximum level. So, that is why we will have the reorder level higher than the minimum stock. Reorder level will be more than the minimum stock, it will be higher than the minimum stock, and the quantity what we are going to order, this quantity is what is called as reorder quantity. This quantity is what is called as reorder quantity. Below this level, below this minimum level, it is called as safety stock. Below this level of reorder, below this level of minimum quantity is what is called as the safety stock. And the lead time, right, inventory lead time, the time taken to place an order, and by the time wherever the product or inventory comes, now this time is what is called as lead time. This time is what is called as lead time. Time taken from the point of reorder till the point where the order comes to the production unit is what is called as reorder time as such, okay, right. So, you have understood about the reorder, that is minimum quantity, maximum quantity, reorder level, the safety stock and the lead time, okay. We will go to the next one, assumptions of EOQ. What is that? The first one, demand is known and its deterministic is constant, right. So, we have an understanding. What is the assumption? Economic order quantity is been calculated based on the understanding of the quantity is demand is constant, the quantity in the demand is constant, and ultimately we have the economic order calculated based upon the demand, right. And second one, the lead time. The time between placement of the order and the receipt of the order is known and constant. That means, we have understood this also in the form of a constant only. That is, from the time taken, right, placement of an order. So, wherever we are placing the order, from that order till the receipt of the order is what is called as the, right, the lead time as such. So, lead time mostly it stands to be constant and it changes only with related to some kind of a disturbance in the transportation system alone, but majority of the time it stands to be constant. Now, coming to the third one, the receipt of inventory is instantaneous. In other words, the inventory form and order arrives in one batch at one point in one time as such. So, everything it comes at one particular locality or location as such. Quantity discounts are not possible because we are already in that particular level of identifying the economic order quantity, and we are trying to make the order every time with the same quantity as. That is why a quantity discounts are not possible. In other words, it does not make any difference how much we order, the price of the product will still be the same. So, whatever the quantity we order and how many number of times we order, the product price remains the same and the discounts cannot be have any impact upon that particular quantity order. And next, that only cost pertinent to inventory model are the cost on placing in order and cost of holding or storing inventory over time. That means the cost mostly involved in this are ordering cost and carrying cost. These are the two costs which we have, that these are the two costs are involved, that is the assumption. Maybe there are other costs also involved, but the most two important costs which are involved, we do assume that that is only the carrying cost and the ordering cost as such, right. Now, if we see this particular problem, you will understand that by reading this particular problem, a biscuit manufacturing company buys a lot of bags. So, because we are trying to identify here the sum calculation, it is the first one, that is the 10,000 bags. Okay. Bags weight per annum. Bags weight per annum. The cost per bag is how much? 500. And the ordering cost is how much? 400. The inventory carrying cost is how much? 10%. The price of the wheat, determine, what is that we are supposed to determine? We are supposed to determine EOQ. Okay. So, here what is that? See, per annum sales, how much is that? At 10,000 bags, right, 10,000 bags wheat per annum, 10,000 bags wheat per annum. We need to have two costs, calculated two costs. The cost per bag is rupees 500 and right, cost per bag, cost per bag, how much? 500 rupees, 500, and ordering cost is how much? 400 rupees. Ordering cost is 400 rupees. Okay. Now, the inventory carrying cost is estimated at 10% of the price of the wheat. How much is the price of the wheat? Price of the wheat is 500. The cost per bag is 500. So, the carrying cost per bag is how much? Carrying cost per bag, it is equal to 10% into how much? 500, which is equal to 50 rupees, right, which is equal to 50 rupees. By having this, we need to calculate economic order quantity, right, economic order quantity. Now, in calculating this, right, right, see here, annual demand we have just now written, that is what? Annual demand is equal to, right, annual demand is equal to how much? Because we need to calculate the economic order quantity based upon overall calculation per annum, if it is given in annum. Okay. So, here 10,000 bags per annum is what is the total consumption. Cost per order, how much? It is 400, that is ordering cost. Ordering cost is 400 and carrying cost per unit, it is 10% of the cost price. It is 10% of the cost price, that is 0.10 into 500, which is equal to rupees how much? 50, right. Now, we have all this: annual demand 10,000, ordering cost 400, Carrying cost 10% of the cost, which is equal to 500 into 0.10 is equal to 50, right. Now, we are going to calculate this one EOQ, and the formula for EOQ is root of 2AO by C, root of 2AO by C. This is the formula. Economic order quantity is equal to, economic order quantity is equal to, what is that? Root of 2AO by C, root of 2AO by C, where A is annual consumption, O is ordering cost, C is carrying cost. Okay. What is that we have seen for annual consumption? Annual consumption in this problem is 10,000. Ordering cost how much? The ordering cost is 400 per order, and carrying cost is how much? 50 rupees per bag, right. So, we need to have the calculation per order per bag, that is the main understanding here. So, if we have the calculation here, the formula gives that, right. The formula makes the, after the formula when we apply the application, that is 2AO divided by C, which is equal to how much? Root of, right, 2 into annual, it is annual demand is equal to 10,000 into 400 is the ordering cost divided by the carrying cost is equal to 50, which gives how much value? The value which comes is equal to 1,60,000, right, 1,60,000, and it is under the root influence. It is under the root influence. By taking the root of this, we get the value which is the 400 bags. So, economic order quantity is what? Every time you order, you need to order 400 bags. Now, that will provide you what? According to the calculation, what we have the diagram, that is the carrying cost, and this is the ordering cost. Now, under the carrying cost and ordering cost, now this represents what? Total cost, TC, right. Now, under the TC, now this area is where the intersection happens. Now, this is what we have a projection. Now, this is cost, right, and this is quantity, right. Now, under this cost is what? The cost where this intersection happens, and this is the lowest cost, and this quantity is what is 400 bags, right. This quantity is what is the 400 bags. So, economic order quantity EOQ is equal to, right, EOQ is equal to the 400 bags as such. Understood? Now, so once we have done it, we also need to find out what is the number of order we are supposed to do. Economic order quantity per order, it is 400. Since the number of bags which are been given, that per annum consumption, how many bags are per annum consumption? Total we are going to purchase 10,000 bags per annum, and per order how many we are going to order? We are going to order 400 bags. So, for 400 bags, if we divide that 400 with the annual demand, that is the number of orders to be placed during the year, annual demanded units divided by EOQ is equal to how much? 10,000 by 400, which is equal to 25 order. That means in a year 400 per order, and like that totally we are supposed to order 25 orders. Like that we are supposed to order 25 orders. Now, from the overall problem, in the above case the company has to place how many orders? 25 orders, and to optimize its ordering and carrying cost. That means to optimize this ordering and carrying cost, right? Economic order quantity is 400, and continuously it need to have the same level of quantity of order for how many times? 25 times, to have the least cost and the maximum benefit or maximum revenue as such, right? All right. So, with this we will close the lecture number 7. Okay? Thank you.